Hello and welcome back to another housing video for Final Fantasy XIV with me, Meoni. Today we're looking at two items that I somehow missed from the patch 6.4 update a while ago, and that is one crafted item and also a housing vendor item, and I thought we'd do both in this particular video. So as you can see, the housing item that we're looking at that can be crafted is the Ornate fountain. Now there are lots of fountains in the game, so we're going to obviously hope that this one is great. It is a dyeable item. It says decorated with delicate designs and crystal panels, this water feature gushes elegance. This is of course a fairly brand new goldsmithing recipe for level 90. It doesn't require any masterworks or anything like that, or any specialties, but it does use mahogany lumber, limestone, blue spirit tiles, ambrosial water and mortar. Some of those ingredients are harder to get than others. I would say the blue spirit tile is probably one of the more expensive parts of that. You might say the ambrosial water, but honestly it's not too bad at all. And the other item we actually have to purchase from a housing merchant. You can find these in any of your housing zones. I'm here in the Mist in the Sea Gaze markets, and if we click on the outdoor furnishing section for exterior and garden and tick only recently added items. Additionally to the sleepers we've already looked at is the smashed flower pot. This is an interesting item. It says let the resilience of the flowers which persevere in the soil of the damaged pot serve as a reminder that hope springs eternal. Now this isn't necessarily something that would be on the top of my list of things I would want to have, so I don't know what's it going to look like. So let's use this area to display this. So first of all, let's look at this fantastic fountain. I know this is going to be good already just by looking at the item in my bag. And sure enough, it gets props for being very large. Okay, so one of my pet hates with housing items, not all the time, but most of the time, especially with fountains and things like that, is that more often than not, they are far too small. I can safely say then that this is not going to be one of those that's on that list. What a beautiful looking item. It has seating around. It's almost like a jacuzzi. I really like this. I think I may be mistaken, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this was part of, I think, the 2019 furnishing design contest. I could be wrong with that. Citations needed. I'll have a look and add annotations if I can find out any information. But as you can see, it is a very beautiful item. It is made of this big thick stone. The texture quality is really nice. Even on the back of the item we have this trellising kind of separating the two halves. This could be butted up against a wall. This could be butted up on against, like, I don't know, another sort of jacuzzi side of sort of idea. And of course this acts as quite a nice outdoors, almost like a shower, an outdoors spring shower. So presumably the idea is the water flows through pumps that go through the sides and then overflow past that arch. I do like the glowy parts on this as well. They have some nice luminosity. I'm sure those look absolutely fantastic at night. And of course we have the typical water sort of splashy sound, which isn't too loud. Yeah, really nice actually. Presumably then this is a seated area, which of course it is, so you could probably fit quite a few people on this and take a nice picture. I do like that, incorporating seating with a furnishing like this, especially a fountain. This is definitely something that has perks over, say, this. As much as the Otter fountain is fantastic, right, that they placed into the game, it doesn't have any functionality added to that. I like things baked together, especially even in when you're in housing plots. For a large plot, we are limited to 40 outdoor placement slots. Now, to fill a space this large, it is very difficult, which is also why I like things that are decorative. For example, like a swing chair, right? It has a tree attached to a chair. You can use the chair and things like that. The decking over here, it's awesome because it's got a seated area, plants, decoration, and acts as a way of filling up a huge section of your garden space. So I think this is great. Honestly, it's perfect sized. I don't think it would necessarily need to be any bigger than this. I think it probably would be a problem if it was bigger than this. It's got full collision detection. Presumably we can get on top of the roof as well as we do this live. Yeah, so it's got a nice solid surface. Yeah, if it fits, it sits. Perfect. Yeah, I really like this one. So how does it die? That is the other question on my mind right now. So let's try that together. Finishing color. Boop. All right, so it is the stonework that's going to be the section that dies. That's good. I was hoping it would be that rather than any of the other inlays. Remember, in the 7.0 series of patches, or indeed the launch of the expansion, we're not sure yet, for Dawn Trail, furnishing items are included on the new dye update system, where we'll be able to choose 2 sections of items to dye. Now, whether or not that means we'll be able to retroactively dye everything, I would like to think in the future items like this that were incorporated into the game would allow the 2 most striking colors to be changed. So maybe the glowy section and then the white section, or alternatively it could possibly be the the inlaid design here with the actual background. In white, that kind of looks like marble. Looks really good. I'm not sure about dark colors though, because we're going to lose a lot of that detailing. But yeah, if you wanted to match your garden to a certain theme, wow, that looks like something out of Az's Law. That looks amazing, like Allegan or something crazy. Bright pink, of course, if you want to make your Barbie house. I know Barbie is all the rage at the moment with a new movie. So if you want to go full Barbie, you totally can. Yeah, it looks really good, doesn't it? In a great range of things. Different colours. Yeah, I think I'd probably go for brighter colours personally, like washed out pastel colours, that kind of thing, because it kind of adds to that stone texture that they've gone with. But yeah, let me know what you think about that one. Let's pop that one down. So this is what this looks like then. All right. So it's a fairly small item. It's comprised of multiple layers though. Of course, we've got a ground texture that nicely blends in with specks of green there into the actual surrounding grass. It almost looks, I mean, if you looked from a distance without the circle there, you could quite easily think this was blended in. This is quite rare, especially with Square Enix's implementations for housing, because a lot of the time it just looks like something they've tried to match the texture and it doesn't work at all. But that actually looks like part of a garden. I have definitely raised my satisfaction with this item after placing it down. I really was not sure about it, because you think, why would I want a broken flower pot when I can have a real flower pot that's not broken? But actually, there's some nice detail on this. I like the acorns and the flowers. The leaves. Oh my god, Meoni, they're flowers apparently in my head. And then there's flowers in the actual other flower pot, and it's almost like nature has escaped its confines and is growing through. So if you wanted to look sort of like a rundown but nature kind of taking over section, maybe your warrior of light has rushed off to save the world and has neglected her flower pots, but never mind, they found a way. Nature always does. Yeah, it's quite nice, but again, my criticism is it's quite a small item. In terms of other housing decorative flower items, we have lots of combinations of things. If you want to make a nice little garden patch section, this will look quite nice together, actually. Let's bring that other garden patch over here. I think together, those items look perfect, don't they? Yeah, that's quite cool, actually. Yeah, I've changed my opinion on it completely. I've done a 180. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think about these items. I personally think that I could have looked at these much sooner. I thought that, I'd looked at everything, but I certainly didn't do it for any deliberate manner. But I'm glad we finally got round to them. I honestly would not have seen them otherwise. And of course, the best thing about this is that housing items on the outside we can place on our island sanctuary, which presumably a lot of you have already done. You could make some really nice looking places, and especially the plant pot makes more sense, I would imagine, to people on an island sanctuary than anywhere else. Anyway, let me know if you've used these yet, what you think about them, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.